From Facebook to Twitter, social media has become a major part of people's lives, both personally and professionally. But how much is too much, and is it always a good thing? Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess, and this is Comcast Newsmakers, coming to you from the Comcast Lansing studios. Our topic today is social media, personal versus professional. Here to discuss it with us is the Assistant Professor of Telecommunication, Information Studies, and Media at Michigan State University, Dr. Constantinos Coursaris. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me here, Laurel.
You must have to redevelop your lesson plans every single semester because social media is changing so incredibly quickly. Absolutely.
It's fascinating what it's done to the education industry at large, academia, in terms of conceiving, operationalizing pedagogical models, paradigms, classroom paradigms, policies, classroom ethics and behavior policies. And early on there was concern that social media will actually hurt academic performance, the prevalence, especially in an academic setting. But we actually have seen numerous studies at this point that support the benefit of social media when integrated with educational material, with courses both in class and particularly outside of classroom settings, to instill those lessons, to really internalize the knowledge among the students and to transform their education experience.
I would imagine the value far exceeds the risks. All we hear about are the risks, right? Keep your kids off Facebook. Yes. Everybody's spending all their time tweeting and they're not living in the real world. Yes. But the value when it comes to, you know, obviously education, but the latest election, how many more people were engaged and educated and voted because they got all of their information via some sort of social media? Absolutely.
In the last two elections, I would say they've really, the elections here in the U.S. have really put social media in the spotlight in terms of what it can do in the electoral process, what it can do for political marketing. Nonpartisan assessments would support that the Obama campaign did a great job back 4 years ago. That's in terms of transforming, changing the sentiment, and then getting people to vote at the time that it mattered most. In fact, I did a study of my own back in Greece, where I'm originally from, looking at two federal elections that happened back to back, and the role of new media in boosting perceptions of credibility, trustworthiness, and actually changing voting intention during the election, during the campaigning process, all the way to the actual outcome. So they really matter. In terms of the most recent outcomes, it's fascinating to consider that across this vast land that we're situated, we had 22% of Americans participating on social media in one form or another, whether they actually, some of them actually full out disclose who they voted for. Others just motivated others to go out and vote, which is a key message by both sides in the elections. Others actually influenced their family and loved ones. Parents commenting on their children's Facebook profiles. Go out and vote. Remember to vote.
Well, 10-year-olds have Facebooks and 80-year-olds have Facebook accounts.
Yes,
so it
that's
really,
a reality.
While we do think it's a young person's thing, a lot of us old people are getting on board. Very quickly, what's the next trend? We have Facebook, we have Twitter, you know, Foursquare's out there, Pinterest seems to be the hot new thing. Yes. Is there something else that I don't know about?
Well, there's definitely a lot going on, and we still haven't seen the full potential of these services. You mentioned Foursquare, which would fall under the umbrella of location-based services. They've done great. Gowalla, a competitor, has done well as well in that regard, but we really haven't exploited, we really haven't leveraged the potential of tailoring services to the location and the personal information of the individual user anytime, anywhere. So we're definitely going to see more of that. On the other side, especially for marketing, political marketing and beyond, video.
YouTube already there, going to get changed, and a lot more of it. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We could talk forever. Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Dr. Constantinos Coursaris, the Assistant Professor of Telecommunication, Information Studies, and Media at MSU.